Luis Maimoni. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. I'm a parent, and I'm a volunteer board chair. A couple of things about me. You should know that on my good days, I am a reformed overthinker. On bad days, I cannot find my cup of coffee. In terms of background for this particular presentation, you should know that I worked in Los Angeles County with families and children of all sorts, of all kinds, of all sizes and shapes, all kinds of issues. And over the course of that time, I became certified in positive parenting, which is like parenting but with less yelling and better results. Today what I want to talk about is raising kids with compassion and empathy. What I mean by that is raising children that see other people, feel with them, act with kindness, but don't pick up all of the drama and don't become doormats. It's not magic. It's modeling, it's practice, it's boundaries, and it doesn't need to be done perfectly, which means that I can do it, and so can you. If we're going to raise compassionate and empathetic children, we're going to need to be connected to them and to others. We're living in a society where connection is happening less and less, and all you have to do is open a newspaper to see that compassion and empathy are also happening less and less. We are, rather than having human-to-human deep connection, we are group texting. We are clicking like. We are starting to treat emojis as if they were real emotions. And all of this is creating a big compassion shortage, a big empathy shortage. We are, as a species, just not connecting as well as we used to. And so we, as a species, need to take more time to connect. We must model it, because that is how our kids are going to learn it. Teaching it means modeling it. And here's the thing, even when you're not feeling it. When am I not feeling it? Well, the acronym that we use is HALT. Hungry, angry, lonely, tired. We say HALT because you want to stop before you say something or do something that you're going to regret in a hot minute. HALT. Hungry, angry, lonely, tired. If that is flowing through you, take a moment, take a breath, reset yourself, and then model the kind of behaviors that you'd like your children to exhibit. Compassionate, empathetic. It's easy to do that when everything is easy. But think about it. That means everybody is well fed, everybody is well rested. Maybe everybody even agreed on what movie you watch. Yeah, that never happens, does it? Not at home, not at work, not anywhere. Okay, so we must model compassion and empathy when it's real, when the emotions are messy, and when things are real. Okay, if you're buying what I'm selling, if you're picking up what I'm putting down, then here are 5 things you need to know. Okay, 5 things you need to know, starting with number 1. Very good. Kids don't learn empathy from what you say. They learn it from what you do. And honestly, that's how they learn everything. We want kids, it would be so much easier if kids would just listen and learn from our words. But they're wired to copy what they see. Even when we don't realize that we're teaching them something, we are. Every look, every tone, every reaction, we are programming our child. We're teaching them. They're watching us at 7:30 in the morning when we haven't had our coffee and we get cut off in traffic. How do we handle that? Do we lose it? Do we not lose it? They're learning. They're watching how you talk to the waiter. They're watching how you talk to your partner. They're watching how you talk to them, most especially. Are you seeing them? Are you feeling them? Are you connecting with them? Are they feeling love in your contact? Even when you're feeling tense, nervous, maybe on that hungry, angry, lonely, tired path? In other words, Compassion and empathy are not going to be taught in your best moments. They're going to be taught in your worst ones. Empathy isn't built in perfection. Compassion is not built in perfection. Those particular emotions are designed, those particular two things are designed for when things are not going well. That's what they're about. So when you blow it, and you will, apologize, repair, and show them what connection looks like when it's messy and real. That's how empathy actually grows, in the cracks, not the highlight reel. Okay, thing number 2, coming up. Okay, here's the second thing. The voice in your head matters. In the first thing, we talked about how your kids notice how you talk to others, and that's 100% valid. But it is also 100% valid to talk about how you treat yourself, because they absolutely pick up on that too. I'm going to take the example of the perfectionist parent, that parent who feels they should always be doing more, the one who says, oh, I can never get it right, the one who looks at other parents, what they're doing, their houses, where they live, how they live, their clothes, their car. It's never enough. Well, if that's your internal dialogue, rest assured that your children are picking that up as well. So, yes, how you treat others matters, but it's also about how you treat yourself, especially when life throws you a curveball or punches you smack in the face. Okay. So, what is the antidote? It is self-compassion. No, when I'm talking about self-compassion, I don't mean a meme, and I don't mean an inspirational Instagram post between your doom scrolling sessions. No. Self-compassion is what keeps us from turning into full-time self-critics. When I bring up self-compassion, there's resistance to it. I think there's a cultural resistance to it. People push back. It's like I'm asking them to lower their standards. I am not. What I'm saying is just treat yourself the way you would actually want to be treating other people. And I think that you'll find that you treat others far better than the voice in your head treats you. So just notice that, and it'll help you be a better parent. And if you pay enough attention to what you're doing, there's going to be another payoff. And that is that the voice in your head is going to be a little bit less of a full-time self-critic. Okay. So in practice, what this means is showing your kids what it's like to be real, to be yourself, and to be kind to yourself, especially on nights where, I don't know, cereal for dinner nights, you're tired, you had a long day, your shirt's on inside out, and you're trying to pretend it's some kind of a fashion statement. Your kids all know it's bogus, but you're being kind to yourself. And so then they are learning the most important thing of all, which is how to be a real human. Okay. Okay, here's the third thing you need to know. Emotions need an ecosystem. Empathy doesn't grow in a vacuum. Emotions need a place to play, a place to stay, a place where they can be stretched, a place where they can be messy. That's how kids learn what emotions do, how they work, how they feel. Kids can't connect with others if they don't have at least some fluency with what is going on with their own feelings. And you are going to be the teacher here, whether you like it or not, whether you feel ready or not. The good news is you don't have to be fluent in emotion speak. Just be real in terms of whatever's real for you. If you say things like, I'm off today, or I'm frustrated, that's the modeling. Just have it be authentic. Separately, watch what your children are doing. And notice that as they grow, age and stage of development wise, they're going to handle and display emotions differently. A little kid, a little language learner, is going to talk about how things feel in their body, like everything feels too big, or I'm shaking all over. Tweens, more difficult, but they're going to say things like, whatever, give you an eye roll, and disappear into a hoodie. Teenagers can be much more articulate, but their emotions are more complicated. There's more overlay. They feel a lot of social pressure, and so you're going to have outbursts from teenagers as well. So as they learn, it's going to be messy, and you're going to want to fix it. And I'm asking you to resist that urge. They can't learn to self-regulate if you do all the regulation. I'm not saying it's inappropriate. Do co-regulate with a young child. Co-regulate at any age if you need to. By co-regulate, I mean be with them, stay calm with them, even when they're dysregulated. But don't be fixing the problem all the time, or they won't learn to fix it on their own. Treat emotions like information, not like failure. So, when the emotion comes up, name it, make space for it, and then model whatever comes next. It might be pausing, it might be breathing, maybe extending some comfort to somebody. If there was a lot of anger involved, maybe some repair and apology is worthwhile. You'll know. You've got experience. Whatever you model, that's going to be what they learn. Remember that you are not raising a robot. The objective is not to have a child that keeps it together at all times. You're trying to raise a human being that shows up. And when they do show up, it's with empathy, it's with compassion, and not with shutdown. Okay, here comes the fourth thing. Okay, here is the fourth of the 5 things you need to know. Screen time is a thief. I'm not completely anti-screens, but I am anti-theft. So, I am anti-screens when they steal the raw materials that feed the ecosystem that you need for empathy to grow in your household. There are a couple of other reasons to manage screen time, and you're probably aware of them, but I'll just mention them. The first is that research shows that too much screen time, particularly early on, impacts learning, impacts development, can delay language, it can weaken social skills. Even educational content, good content, crowds out something more essential, particularly in the case of what we're talking about here, human connection. Okay, so the research says be careful of screen time. Separately, from a behavioral point of view, if you're looking for a well-behaved child, you need to pay attention because they need attention. So it's not just a nice to have. If you, after a rough day, I don't blame you for wanting to chill with Netflix or your favorite app. You might even set your child up with an activity or something to do. But it's only going to last a little while before they start getting bored and whiny and start pestering and interrupting. They're going to do whatever they need to do to get your attention, all the way up to and including throwing a brick through a window. That's because attention is a need. The child needs your attention. They're going to do whatever they have to do to get it. So put your phone down, engage with the child. They're not misbehaving on purpose. They're doing it because they have an unmet need. Okay, look, I get it. Parenting is hard. And there's no shame in using screen time occasionally as an unpaid babysitter. We all do it. Problem is that it's just too easy for just this once to become an all the time sort of thing. It becomes the new normal. And when screens become the default, then problem solving, self-regulation, the ability to tolerate boredom, all of that goes out the window. And kids no longer learn to connect in a meaningful way. So, set boundaries, times, zones, when screens are in bounds or out of bounds. And then when they're out of bounds, make contact, eye contact. Be bored together, feel connection with your children. As we've seen, connection is the foundation of compassion and empathy. And you need to not just have it needs a place to grow. So let it grow. All right, coming up on the fifth of 5. Here's the fifth thing. Empathy needs boundaries. It's somewhat ironic. We've been talking a lot about how you need to model empathy, how you need to model compassion, how you need to be connected with the child, all fine and good. But if you constantly do that and don't keep any space for yourself, guess what? You will become a pressure cooker and you will blow up, and that's bad modeling. So to be effective and sustainable, we have to put boundaries and limits in place, not just for ourselves, but also for our children. We have to learn to say no. We have to learn to grow a spine. Empathy with no limits leads to burnout. If we pretend that we don't, if we pretend that we are infinitely compassionate, it's a recipe for a breakdown. So your children will learn to keep space for themselves with you keeping space for yourself, saying no when you need to say it. Notice how you say it. Don't say it in a mean way. Don't say it in an angry way. Just say it and enforce it, because your children will notice not just what you say, but what you enforce. Okay, working example. You have a rule, no video games after dinner, but your child is playing a first-person shooter video game. And the way those games are set up now, they're on the internet and talking with their friends, all of whom are cursing and screaming, and your child is cursing and screaming in the middle of the family room, right along with them on a headset, so his outbursts make no sense to anybody in the family. If you allow for that because you can see what a great time he's having, and because you're feeling compassion and empathy and are just proud of how good he is at fighting and using the internet, you are also showing that your rules don't matter and that other people in the household don't matter and that chaos is okay. So you don't teach empathy by giving in, you teach it by holding a boundary while still caring. Your empathy comes with a spine. So that's how healthy empathy is modeled. And if it's not modeled that way, they're not going to magically develop it. They will grow up instead emotionally overloaded, reactive, or maybe even passive aggressive. So model what you want to grow. Model empathy that is bounded, clear, self-respecting. That is what is going to make it sustainable for them and for you. Okay, let's wrap this up. Let's add this all up. This is 5 things you need to know to raise kids with empathy and compassion. But they're not just kids, they're little human beings, aren't they? So if we want to raise them with empathy and compassion, we are going to have to do it with intention. And that means showing up on purpose again and again. We talked about 3 big ideas over the 5 things. The first one was modeling. That means being empathetic, being compassionate. They learn from what you do, not from what you say. In order to pull that off, that brought us to the second slide. The second thing, be kind to yourself. Listen to the inner voice inside your head, and if it's being mean to you, remember to be kind to yourself, because you also want to be kind to others. It's hard to be kind to others when you're constantly raging at yourself. The next things, items 3 and 4, had to do with the environment in the home. I brought the idea of emotions needing an ecosystem for them to grow and thrive. That's true. I also mentioned on the 4th thing, beware of screen time. It really can suck the life out of a family. It can act as a real acid chewing on healthy relationships. So make good choices around screen time. Finally, the 5th thing. How do you keep going without falling apart? And this is all about boundaries. It's okay to set them, it's okay to have them, it's okay to keep them. Remember the difference between A request and a boundary is what you actually enforce. Okay. Thank you for spending time with me. I appreciate it. If you're thinking about any of this, I just want to let you know you're already ahead of the game. Okay, let me leave you with my final thought. Okay, closing up, this is the end. This is the handoff. Now it's up to you. You can do this. Things will go wrong, that's a given. Perfection is not required, it's not even a goal. What matters is what comes next. Repair, reconnect, and keep showing up. So, thanks for caring. Thanks for trying. Thanks for being one of the good ones. You are doing the work, and it matters. Thanks for listening.